What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Gold Guy YouTube channel. As you can see here behind me is a DrZ-125, a Suzuki, and this thing's got major problems. Let's look at it. So the story is, this is my friend's girlfriend's son's dirt bike, and he was riding it one day. The engine cut off, he couldn't start it, and it doesn't start basically, so anything could be wrong with it. So when he bought the bike, the case down here was JB welded together, like it cracked and it leaked all the oil out, and he was still riding it with no oil in it, which is very bad. So let's kick this thing over and see what the engine sounds like. Is there even a piston anymore? So the part that has been JB welded down here, that's where all the oil's leaking out, right by the shift linkage down there. And it's connected, it's all one piece, so it's pretty much the bottom, the whole sump of the engine, which does split in half. But we definitely have to pull the engine off to split the case and replace this case. And yeah, as you heard, there's like no compression, so we're gonna have to pull the engine apart anyway. Let's pull the engine off this thing, see how long it takes me. Couldn't find any other YouTube videos on how to pull an engine on this bike, so I'm just gonna wing it. Let's do it. Damn, all these bolts are just so loose. Even the exhaust bolts were like finger tight. As expected, all these lines are kind of dry rotted and need replaced. But I got the carburetor off. Guess I should take this home and clean it for him too. Alright, so what is left? We got a couple bolts down here. Got the swing arm bolt still holding everything together. And looks like we got one bolt up at the top. To pull the top bolt out of the engine, we got to pull this gas tank off, so let's just do it. Okay, so now the engine's pretty loose, just the swing arm bolt holding it in, and I'm not too sure what's gonna happen to the bike once I pull the swing arm bolt out, but let's find out. Okay, the axle's out. There should be nothing holding the engine in except tension. A lot of tension, might I add. Okay, there's the engine pull. I did that in one take and it took me 45 minutes exactly. So, let's get this engine home and let's tear it open and diagnose it. It's heavier than I thought it would be. And I did that whole thing just with a $40 Harbor Freight toolkit. Alright, so we've got the engine in the shop here, and I can already see something very bad. How about you guys check this out, see for yourselves? No bueno. So without even pulling the engine apart, we can look into the intake and the exhaust ports and check out the valves. So we can see the intake valve is intact. Let's check out the exhaust valve. So yeah, the exhaust valve is totally snapped, and well, That could mean a lot more damage if the end of the valve fell into the combustion chamber. Could have messed up the cylinder walls. This engine could be toast, but we don't really know until we completely pull it apart. Alright, there we go. We've cracked the valve cover loose, and camshaft looks good, chain looks alright, springs look good. Can't really say too much bad stuff about this, guys. Alright, let's go ahead and pull the head off then. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta pry on it to get that gasket to break loose. Holy shit. Okay. So that's what the head looks like. It is real bad. It's all marred up. This is definitely bad news. Bad news. Oh my freaking goodness. See that? That's the valve lodged into the piston. I just gotta get a picture of that. That's insane. I don't even know what to do at this point. Is it even worth it? I don't know. I made the determination that this engine is trash. I know a lot of you guys already made that determination once you saw the piston, but I kind of thought it would be worth saving until I started looking up the parts on eBay, and I found out that it would actually be just like $50 more to buy a complete running engine than to buy a new head, a new piston, a new case. So yeah, it's gonna be cheaper to buy a whole new engine. And I found a guy on eBay that was selling one for right around $550 for a complete running DrZ-125 engine. I sent him an offer for $450 including shipping, and he actually accepted it, so that's gonna be awesome. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take the cylinder slash jug, whatever you want to call it, off the bike and take the piston out and take a look at it, because I want to add it to my wall of shame. Gotta pull that gear out, and there we go. So somehow, guys, somehow the cylinder has not been damaged. There we go. We've got the piston free. No wonder it had no compression. You can see the valve through the bottom of the piston. I just noticed that there's actually a piece missing on the bottom of the piston. So that means that that must be in the bottom of the engine somewhere. Seems like the bottom end of the engine works okay. Damn, this shipping must have cost a fortune. But here it is, guys. Here is the motor, the DrZ-125 engine. I think this actually came off of a KLX 125. But it's basically the same bike, except Kawasaki makes it. So it's going to be just the same motor. So yeah, if you buy a motor on eBay, this is what it's going to look like when it gets to your house. I'm not sure if it's this way or up and down. It's probably laying on its side right now, so we should go ahead and open this up and check it out. Oh, it feels like it might actually be a motor in there. Hell yeah, there it is. It's a real motor. What kind of coupons you got in here, huh? Anything good? Alright, thank you for your purchase. Please remember I had to drain all fluids, including crankcase oil and coolant. Well, the valves don't look like they're snapped, so that's a good sign. And there's no Kickstarter on the motor, so anyways, I'm just gonna have to pull the one from the old motor and slap it onto this one. Not a big problem. There we go, slap that on there. Let's see if this motor has compression. Feels like it's got pretty good compression. There we go, we've got the motor. It's on the bike, now we gotta get it in the bike. I can't keep that open like last time, it's way too cold outside. Since I know nothing about this engine, I went ahead and bought a new oil filter and a new spark plug. So let's go ahead and change them out. Yeah, I mean, pretty much looks like a used oil filter. Not too bad though. Pop the new one in there. Gasket is still in place. This engine looks super clean. Alright, now let's fill it up with 950 milliliters of 10W40 oil, which is this whole container. Don't see any oil leaks yet. Alright, now we can get the exhaust back on. And now we can get the carburetor back on. Got it nice and cleaned up. Alright, I've got most of the engine put back on the bike. The clutch is hooked up, the throttle's hooked up, the shift linkage shifter's hooked up. Well, I'm just going to put the gas tank on the bike. We'll start it up, make sure the engine runs. And if it does, then I'll put everything else back together. Let's go ahead and gas it up. Let's see if she'll start up. Put it on. Holy shit, this suspension is insanely soft. Wow. I didn't hook up any of the wires. That's dumb. Those are a little bit important. Alright. Now let's try it. Alright, I don't have any carb cleaner, so I'm gonna try to just put some gas down the airbox hole. So it is getting spark, that's a good thing. Well, it's running. The idle's super high and it's got an exhaust leak, but it started. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. There's still some stuff that I need to fix on this bike before I give it back to him. But, I mean, it's in a lot better state than it was before, so I'm going to call this good for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what you think, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.